Hello and welcome everyone for another weekly commentary with StashAway. I have, as always, our Chief Investment Officer with me, Freddy.
Hi.
He just arrived from Kuala Lumpur to make this so that we can actually have a weekly commentary this week, right?
Yes.
So thank you for that, for rushing here from the airport. A few interesting topics actually to discuss today. We're going to talk a little bit about the tech earnings season that is fully underway right now. Also a little bit about geopolitical topics as well, and we really want to take some time to walk you through the last 2 years since we went live. Was actually a week ago, so we're actually quite proud of that and want to share some details about that with you, should you have not gotten the email or the video that we've sent out this week, right? Earlier this week. So we'll do that. First of all though, I want to take 2 seconds to introduce the next few events from StashAway Academy, our educational arm that we have. There will be 2 events, one in Singapore, one in Malaysia. In Singapore on the 6th of August at 7 o'clock, you will be able to join us for a talk on financial planning, which is actually held by myself. That's on August 6th, 7 p.m. You can sign up on stashaway.sg/events, or you can also find this on our Facebook page or Eventbrite page as well. In Malaysia, we have actually an event on August 3rd on Saturday, so if you're not able to make any of our weekly evening sessions, there's going to be one at around lunchtime on August 3rd, and it's about how to invest with ETFs. That's in Malaysia. Again, you can sign up on stashaway.my/events or Facebook and Eventbrite as well. That's it for our StashAway Academy. Freddy, now back to you. Tech sector earnings, right? They have really dominated the headlines over the last few days. So maybe you can give a little bit of update on what happens.
As I found out this morning at 5, Amazon and Google have their earnings released. The big issue with tech names so far has been they spend a lot on capex and further innovations, and they were always very focused on bringing people a better customer experiences. So in the case of Amazon, there's been a lot of spending, $800 million in 1 quarter on just improving the shipping speed to 1 day for Amazon Prime users. So it's going to be ongoing throughout the year. So they're probably going to burn maybe close to 4 times the number by the end of the year, right?
But actually improving customer loyalty though as well, right? Because I've been hearing this actually from friends in the US. It's amazing now.
It's amazing.
It was already amazing today when I was there, but within 2 years now of not being there, 1 day actually in Prime now, within minutes you can actually see them driving around right on the app.
So it's going to be really awesome for us consumers, but from the investor angle, they were very concerned with profitability, and the short-termism thing that goes on with markets is always there. So they slightly underperform in terms of net income because costs were going up. But I think long-term is not an issue. And as Amazon has always made very clear, they are the firm that invests in a lot of capex and R&D. And as a result, Amazon stocks, even though it's a big name, it tends to be volatile. Right? That's not going to change, and they have made that very clear with their business plans.
So what about the other tech companies? So is going to be Google, right? And then what does that mean in terms of headwinds? Because tech is a big sector, right? So it's a very big sector. Like, I don't know, in the S&P 500, it makes up a huge percentage as well, right, of big companies. So what do you see for investors
on Google outperformed analyst expectations. They did fairly well, and actually both Amazon and Google has been doing strongly in cloud computing and advertising revenue. And these are the components that's holding the fortress, allowing them to invest more. The only difference is that in Google's case, is only 38% more increases to last year's expenditure on capex. Last year versus the year before was 90% increase. So it's still increasing costs, but it's at a slower rate, and that was well taken by investors. So I think Google's is slightly outperformed. Now the bigger issue of the tech sector is more about regulatory headwinds. As we know that Facebook has been slapped with a $5 billion penalty. It's a delay penalty on the Cambridge Analytica data breach incidents, but it also resulted in lawmakers demanding more oversight from Facebook on user data, and also there's some misleading practices in terms of how to present the settings for your privacy, where you thought that you would have a private viewing setting, but actually it's quite complicated to get there. So it's sort of being addressed as well as part of the oversight requirements. So these are headwinds in the near term where it's going to raise costs and it's going to make them more compliant. And also, as usual, I think we used to have bankers bashing in the 2008 crisis.
Yes.
Well, we have next year's general election in the US November next year. It will be no surprise to me that we keep getting tech names being bashed by
just
politicians.
The sheer trove of data that they collect, right, of you personally.
Yeah, so this is going to be there. It's not going to go away for big tech. This is a big sign.
Yeah.
More scrutiny is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is on the tech side. We had some political spats this week. One is geopolitical, and then I go into the other one afterwards. But there's some stuff going on even in Asia, right?
Well, it's this time it's between South Korea and Japan rather than US and the rest of the world.
Yes.
It has the same component of national security reasons, where Japan cited concerns over national security and also from the angle of preventing proliferations of weapons. So they're stopping exports of key materials that goes into making semiconductors and some electronics to Korean companies. But then the whole debacle was started when the South Korean court ordered freeze of and seizure of assets of Japanese companies in South Korea, and they're ordering the freezing of assets for paying compensation to people who suffered under the Japanese occupation back in 1910 to 1915. Sorry, it's historical. So when an issue gets entangled in something as emotional, as colonial as this, I call it colonial crimes,
yes,
is not going to be resolved easily. Although both sides should have incentive to resolve it because, you know, the supply chain dependencies, it's just so deep. And it actually affects global supply chain in tech space as well. So tech names around the world are monitoring this closely. There's incentives to resolve it, but the politicians will have first to tone down the anti-sentiments that's going on right now.
Against each other, right now.
Yeah, it's all started with the Korean courts going after assets in the less than usual manner. Yes.
Very much so. So I think this highlights again, right? You will always have these small geopolitical battles all around the world all the time.
Concentration risk, home
Correct.
biases.
So this is where the diversified portfolio makes a lot of sense, right? And this is if you had it all year and you woke up today from January, right? You would have a much different outlook, and you would have had some good returns in the meantime without having to focus on these so much, right?
Yeah, I mean, all these issues really highlight that what we need is really intelligent diversification.
Yes, absolutely. And so, last but not least, I think it's happy birthday to StashAway.
2 year old.
Yeah, exactly. The big 2 year mark. We had our birthday month. We have our birthday months this month.
Well, it's our birthday in the market. So we are a 3-year-old firm,
Correct.
and we launched our products about 2 years ago in mid-July. And I just want to say a big thanks to tens of thousands of users on the platform who's been with us throughout the whole journey. We had some good times, and we also had some challenging market conditions, but I'm very pleased to say that StashAway portfolios have been given the opportunity to show resilience and to show that we can navigate through different economic and market conditions. And so really thank you for the opportunity to you all. In terms of just to tally the scores to complete
I think it's a good update for people, right?
Yeah, so on an accumulated 2-year basis, as of the end of June this year, our lowest risk portfolio gained about 8.6% since launch, and the highest risk portfolio has gained 23% since launched. And each of them has outperformed their benchmark, respective same risk benchmark, by between 1.7% to 6 percentage point in the same 2-year period. So it really goes to show that when you really source diversification intelligently, when you respect risk, when you stress test, you place risk at the heart of your investment framework before you look at returns. I mean, it really goes to show that these are what really help us get there today.
And helps investors get their goals, right?
Exactly.
So, and I'll put in the description as well a link to our 2-year message from Freddy actually, which we have on our website, so you can also click on that and have a read yourself with some more detailed information. Again, thank you everyone very much so for being users, even just listeners here on our channel, and always giving us great feedback. Without your feedback, we're not able to address points that you wish would change, or you also might have some good ideas. For example, our weekly commentary is also based on feedback we receive, that people like to have some interaction more with us. So we will implement these things, right?
Yeah,
so,
some features in our apps has come from a lot of suggestions from our users as well. And even I'm particularly excited, extremely excited about what's in store ahead, because we have a lot of product features and also portfolio innovations, more geographies, more differentiated asset classes that we are so excited to bring to you in coming months. So stay tuned with all that. And to before we end, I just want to say that on behalf of the StashAway team, thank you very much, and here's to intelligent investing.
Yeah. So thank you very much. As always, feel free to comment or send us an email or give us a call. Otherwise, Freddy and I will be with you again next week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.
Ciao.